It's yet another setback in the attempt to stop all of that gushing oil. We now know the top kill has failed.
Another failure in the Gulf of Mexico. BP announced late today its effort to plug the blown-out well using heavy mud and bits of junk, the so-called top kill procedure, isn't working.
We have been unable to overcome the flow from the well, so we now believe it's time to move on to the next of our options.
The company will now cut off the broken, gushing riser pipe and try to replace it with a new riser to capture the oil.
That equipment is on station, ready to go, and we've been prepping that all along in case we need to move to that option.
Meantime, cleanup efforts along the Louisiana coast are ramping up. BP announced plans today for tent cities and even floating camps to house cleanup workers so they can spend more time on site. The company also responded to charges that an army of workers that suddenly appeared around President Obama's visit Friday was for show.
This was not window dressing. If you went there today, you would find people. I just flew over it. There are people there working today.
But for fishing guide Jeff Brumfield,
this is all in this marsh.
The efforts to stop and clean up the oil aren't happening fast enough. He fears he's watching the death of his livelihood.
This is where the shrimp and the fish and everything starts, in this marsh. And if it kills this marsh grass, the entire ecosystem is gone.
Here on Grand Isle, the holiday weekend is an economic disaster. Once bustling fishing marinas and beaches are empty, except for cleanup workers.
This is where we're from, and we need to protect it.
But at least for now, it's a better story along most of the Gulf Coast. There's no oil in sight, convincing vacationers like these in Gulfport, Mississippi, to hit the beaches. After all,
we did go on the internet. We did investigate to find out if any of the beaches had been closed. We found out that there had been no closure, so we came on out.
And now there are more serious questions about whether the well blowout could have been prevented. The New York Times says internal BP documents show serious problems and safety concerns with the rig months before the explosion. Teague, CBS News, Grand Isle, Louisiana.